All right, now where do you see TV magic going?
I'm not really sure. Like when I saw America Got Talent, I
Yeah.
thought there was some, there's something in there which is, um, you know, or let's start it another way around. Like I think that the main problem with magic on TV is credibility. That like people just don't believe what they see anymore. And
Mm-hmm.
a good way to go around that is if it looks live. If there are very little cuts and there's a live audience and a bunch of celebrity guests, which kind of vouch for this being, exactly the way that it is. But I think we're about to lose the audience on TV. That's kind of,
Really?
yeah, I think so. I don't know what, I don't know what the exact numbers are, what Blaine did in his special. I don't think he really owns the slot. I don't think it was all that great. And, Chris's show is very popular, but, it's not on network TV. It's on a, it's a cable network. And I don't know what the numbers are there. Um, Most people which approach me, they ask questions like, "But is it real? Is it? I mean, that's not real, right? It's camera tricks, it's actors, and so you know, it's a little bit of a dilemma. I personally love to see magic on TV. I just don't think that the formats have evolved into anything which no longer is all that credible. So I'm not really sure. We might have just reached the peak and we're over the peak, and it's going to be a few more years before it comes again, like as it was for the last
Yeah.
couple of years. But I think that's fine. That's the way magic is in mainstream media. It has this like peaks and valleys,
Yeah.
and we had a lot of great magic on TV for the last few years, and it might just be enough for a while. But it
Huh.
will take one magician with a special or with a series which takes high ratings, and then all the networks will want it again. So it's kind of I don't know where they are right now, but they're
So I mean, if I can distill your point, the next thing in magic can't be knowable, or else somebody would be doing it already. That it's going to take a redefinition.
well, yeah. I mean, it's probably the pitches which are of the magic shows which are pitched right now probably all sound pretty much the same. I would imagine there are a lot of guys out there pitching to the networks which say magic on TV is no longer credible. I have a format where there are very little cuts, and it's the magic real one to one, exactly the way the audience sees it, and we're gonna make sure the people at home understand it, and it's gonna blow your mind anyway. It's gonna be as good as the other stuff, which people think is camera tricks, but it's gonna be the real thing. But I don't know if the network's gonna buy any of these shows, or it's like it looks like these casting shows, these talent shows, like America's Got Talent. Just draw bigger audiences, and they have more interesting backstories, and they're more easily repurposed, cheaper to produce. So I don't know if I were a network executive, a programming executive at this point in time, I would probably not buy a magic show unless it has a pitch which is completely different.
Very interesting. And you don't happen to have any of those pictures up your sleeve, do you, Marco?
I wish, it's like, I'm always kind of playing that game. I did dabble in television a little bit. I produced a TV series, and I was able to distribute it in 52 countries, and it did really well. And the great thing for me was that it other business came out of it. All these
Yeah.
countries where it did well, I could go and visit and do local co-productions and more TV and live shows. So it was really really beneficial to my career, and it was a lot of fun to do it. And actually, I did it just after 9/11, where there was an economic downturn, like we're probably about to experience right now, where there was not a lot of corporate entertainment, and it was just the perfect time to do it. But I think this time around, I will focus personally on live entertainment, the theatrical show, which is ticketed, like
Yeah.
for a real audience.
Yeah.
And TV can always be a great promotional medium. So, I think, appearances in talk shows and late night TV and for magicians will always be there, and you have great stuff, great material, or a great personality, you're going to get booked on those. But to sell another TV series to North American television, or to do another special or a series of specials, which is really what they're looking for. They don't look for a one-off. They want to make sure there's like continuation.
Repetition.
I think that's
Yeah.
going to be, it's not easy to sell. And there are a few established players, and, they kind of own the arena unless they completely mess up. And, well, let's see what happens.
Indeed. All right. Well, we're getting off of TV. Outside of magic, who would you say is the biggest influence or inspiration to you?
At this point in time, I get a lot of inspiration from popular science writing. I just listened to an audio book which is called the Complete History of Almost Everything, which takes us through the history of geology, chemistry, physics, really super fascinating. Lots of little stories, very, very inspiring stuff to me. I'm personally always fascinated by artists who use technology, obviously, since gadgets are my big thing in my magic. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm also looking into the kind of realm of open source programming, computer vision, multimedia artists. There's a lot of inspiring stuff there, which is somewhat like magic.
Yeah. Are there any names? I'm sure people that are fans of you would be interested to see what you're into.
Well, the short history of nearly everything is written by Bill Bryson, which is really
Okay.
super awesome. And if you have a hard time reading really thick books, get the 14-hour audiobook on iTunes.
Yeah.
It's super awesome. It's like I I have a book full of notes just from that one source. It's just so fascinating to see how all the knowledge we have came about. What kind of
Yeah.
people were there to explore all that stuff, and what were they driven by. So
Very, very fascinating.